Hello, hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Launch Coast Football. I'm Daniel,
And I'm Chelsea.
and UConn Huskies are in the Final Four after a miracle shot. I don't care that this is a football podcast. I'm going to be glowing right now because my goodness, that might be the game of the year.
Honestly, that's probably the best shot I've ever seen. I am not a UConn fan, but my best friend's family, her dad is from Connecticut. So
Oh,
safe to say there was a lot of screaming in their household.
oh, thank you. I'm your
I
best friend.
yelled. I'm not even invested. I'm just invested in watching Duke lose, honestly.
I was watching that game with my because at the same time I was having a sibling. We do a sibling Zoom with me and my three siblings for like an album. So we have the Zoom on. I'm watching the game on the television, and I felt so bad because we're like, so how was everybody's week? And Matthew was talking, and as he's talking, a shot went in, and I just jumped up and just like for the next 5 minutes, no, just did not care what I had to say.
Oh my gosh, that's so
And
crazy.
like my other brother, he's a bigger UConn fan than me. He was on like a 5 second delay. So I said, "Yo, Aaron, you're about to explode in 5 seconds," and then it happened, and we're all just going crazy. And Matthew's just sitting there, just like, "Okay, well, that's how my day was."
Thanks for listening, guys.
Oh man. Well, we got no college basketball on right now, so nothing to distract us from the second part of our tier list. Last week we did the past 12 Super Bowl losing teams. Now we have to give some love to the winners. So we have the last 12 winning Super Bowl winning teams here on Large Coach Football. We're putting them in a tier list, which I had to change up a little because no, it's the winners, it's not the losers list. So we go from Tier one is GOATs, which is teams that are considered some of the greatest of all time. We go to Juggernaut, which is just a dominant, very great, solid team. We go to Coin Flip, which is the Super Bowl was even. This was like an even game, so it could have gone either way. We got Miracle Run slash Upset, which kind of you got the idea. It's imagine just the Giants the past two Super Bowls with the Giants with Eli Manning. Those are Miracle Run slash upsets. And then the just how, which is you didn't deserve to win this game. You weren't that good of a team. Just circumstances. So, yep.
Okie dokie.
And now we start. I think this one's going to be kind of hard because, yeah, we start with the Legion of Boom just destroying the Broncos. What? How would you consider this a juggernaut or a goat at this point? Like the Legion of Boom, that's Seattle team.
I mean, I think that the Legion of Boom is one of the greatest defenses of all time. So I would probably put it in GOAT just for the defense alone. But there's room for debate.
Yeah, it's. I think just because the aura that team displayed, the fact that you have probably I'd say at least two or three Hall of Famers on that defense alone, and the fact that I think it has all time players of this era. Like Pete Carroll is a Hall of Fame coach. Russell Wilson and Marshawn Lynch are kind of borderline Hall of Fame players at their position on the offensive side. Of course, again, you got like Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas, Bobby Wagner, Cam Chancellor, Bennett on the line. It's crazy. This team was an embarrassment of riches, and they just decimated a Broncos team that we all thought was going to be a back and forth even game. Going to that game, everyone said the Broncos. I felt like this could have been a coin flip. It wasn't just how much they just decimated Denver. So
Right. Yeah. Like I said, based on the defense alone, I mean, like you were saying, a couple seconds ago, like knowing that they probably have, at least two to three to four likely Hall of Famers on this defense. I mean, I would say Cam Chancellor and Bobby Wagner alone probably qualify for that, but you also have Richard Sherman, you have Earl Thomas, you have gosh, I mean, Bruce Irvin, who had a long career for a long time. Not saying he's a Hall of Famer, but really good. I mean, you had Michael Bennett. I mean, you had some dudes on this defense. I mean, they were one of the best defenses of all time for a reason. So,
okay, so we'll go goat. Cut two thing. They are definitely
yeah.
just on nickname alone. The Legion of Boom. That's an all time team, all time
Yeah,
nickname.
can't really not put them in the GOAT category if their defense has its own nickname. I mean, I feel like that would just be disrespectful.
And now we go to a painful memory. Now we go to them losing to the Patriots in the Super Bowl, which I have to say this has to be a coin flip game.
I agree.
Yeah. Because it's not a how just how because the fact that it was Tom Brady. That Patriots team was a great team. It wasn't a case of they eat their way in the playoffs. They were clearly the best team in the AFC. I feel like, and this it was a case of both like the best team in the AFC versus the best team in the NFC, and it just came down to one play, one single
Yep.
play. And I think
That will live in infamy.
one thing that I always think about is the fact that we're assuming because if say they give Marshawn Lynch the ball and he scores, there's still about 40 seconds left. I
Yeah.
think New England has at least I think they have at least one timeout. So
Yeah,
this
knowing Tom Brady, there's a good chance they still win that game anyway.
so I'm not saying it's a definite win, but I'm also thinking like, they could just go down and score a touch. They wouldn't need a touchdown, but they could actually no, they wouldn't need a touchdown because Seattle scores is 27-28, 31-28. So they would just need a field goal.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the coin. That was came down to just I still can't really do that ball, but
I
whatever.
know. It'll live in infamy, man. I mean, I feel like that is one of the worst play calls of all time in modern day football. And you'll find a lot of fans that will say that. Like, you don't have to be a Broncos fan or a Seahawks fan or a Patriots fan or a fan of anyone else to think that that was terrible. I mean, pretty much any modern day NFL fan that sat through that still laments that decision to this day. So,
And it's going from one great defense losing to a great offense to one great defense beating a great offense with the no-fly zone Denver Broncos. Peyton Manning, which I think that's a nickname that doesn't get enough attention. No-fly zone. That was a good nickname. I think the reason why it doesn't get that much attention is the fact that their best defensive players were Von Miller and Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware. So,
yeah, that's true.
but it's one of
I
those things.
mean, gosh, I mean, I feel like this was also one of the best defenses.
But I wouldn't say this can't be a GOAT team because that offense was painful to watch. It's sad because it's Peyton Manning's last year, but this is Peyton Manning's last year. I think he's statistically his season was the worst season for a Super Bowl winning quarterback this century, honestly. I
I
have to.
mean, would you consider this an upset? I don't remember who had the odds in this game. Were the Panthers favored to win this game?
Oh yeah, the Panthers. From what I remember, the Panthers are coming because they were fifth. They're going this game set 17-1. They were definitely I don't think they were heavy favorites. It wasn't like the Panthers were supposed to win by like two touchdowns or whatever. But the Panthers were definitely the favorite going into this game. It's not, but it's not.
Well, it's definitely not. I mean, it's not how just how for sure because that defense carried so much of the weight of that team that
Yeah.
that explains it. I mean, I feel like miracle run or upset. I feel like you can't put that even with Peyton Manning in his last year, even though he played poorly, because you still had Peyton Manning. I mean, come on.
Well, let's
And I
be
mean, I feel like it was too far away for it to be a coin flip, so that really only leaves GOAT
juggernaut.
or Juggernaut. And the offense for the Broncos was just nothing. So I don't know. I feel like this one is hard.
This one is a hard one because my first thought would be Miracle Run slash upset, just because it wasn't the fact it was both the fact that Peyton Manning missed wasn't he was at Peyton Manning as was. It's also the fact that
Yeah, that's
he
true,
he
but it
got
is still Peyton Manning. I mean,
yeah, and I'll give him credit. He played well in the postseason. Like I remember that Patriots game, he scored two like he got them ahead and the defense kept the lead. I'm also thinking is that gonna be juggernaut to me? Is that a juggernaut or miracle upset? Miracle run because there definitely wasn't a coin flip. It wasn't how because it was just a dominant defense, and I don't consider them a GOAT team.
I mean, at this point, I guess just put them in upset because Carolina was 15-1 and the Broncos were 12-4. So technically speaking, it would have been an upset, even with how good that defense was.
Yeah, yeah,
Poor Panthers fans. Panthers fans still lament this game,
yeah,
especially Michael Orr. They really lament Michael Orr.
yeah. And I just realized as we're doing this list, oh yeah, I didn't put the foul. I forgot to pick. I have three different Tom Brady ones. Like, oh yeah, he won four Super Bowls during the past 12 years.
Yeah, crazy how that works, isn't it?
Yeah, so I guess I have to add this. I'll add it in post, but the Falcons losing to the Patriots, that has to be a how, just how. because I know the Patriots were a
Yeah.
good team, but the Patriots, they remember that was a year they didn't have Gronk. Gronk was injured, got injured, I think, in November that year, and he missed the rest of the season. So you don't have your number one pass catcher. You're down 28-3, and you're still with a stinking game. So that's I don't get
Yeah,
what.
put it in how just how. The
Yeah,
Patriots should not have won that game. That was an all-time collapse over the entirety of sports, in my opinion. I mean, there are not many collapses that I can think of over the course of my lifetime across all five major sports that are as bad as that was.
I this there's no second place. This
I know.
because
Yep. How just how.
yeah. So well, we'll say no. There's no class. But Duke just lost a 19-point lead to UConn. So
I mean,
yeah,
that's true, but I feel like the levity of this game
I know,
with
I
it
know.
being the Super Bowl still carries more weight
Yeah,
than a Final Four game or a
yeah.
Elite Eight game, I mean.
I know, I know. I'm just big. I just want. I'll find any reason to talk about UConn. Uh,
I don't blame you, dude. I would be the same way.
well, we go from that to potentially another how a miracle one. Nick Foles and the Eagles taking out the Patriots, and that was just. It has to be one of the.
I feel like that qualifies for how just how when Nick Foles managed to outduel Tom Brady. That was pretty crazy.
I just
And I mean,
don't.
it's not like Nick Foles just like kind of slipped under the radar. I mean, bro had three touchdowns.
He was
Like
the reason.
it's not like, you know, he just floated along and the rest of the team carried him. I mean, bro went out there and balled.
I'm trying to remember because they beat they had the because Carson Wentz was going to win the MVP that year if he did get injured like with 3 games left in the season. I forgot who they played in the division round, but they destroyed the Vikings in the championship game, and that's when people were like, oh, the Eagles actually have something. And then no one expected Nick Foles to make Bill Belichick look like a pathetic defensive coach, but that happened. No one, and of course the Philly special. That was an insane miracle run, and that's yeah. How just like there's no reason why you should have won this game.
Yeah. Because I feel like it doesn't qualify for Miracle Run because it was only the last game that they had Nick Foles. It's not like it was or was
Well,
it the whole
no,
playoffs?
no,
Was it
no.
the whole
The
or
thing is, it was the whole playoffs, but I think it was the last game. I think just for the fact that they put up 41, not 41, yeah, 41
yeah,
on the Patriots.
41.
They put 41 on the Patriots, and the fact that they kind of destroyed the Vikings the week prior. You're just thinking, what's going on right now? This doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the reason I would say it doesn't qualify for Miracle Run is because the team was 13 and 3. I
Yeah,
mean, they had a different quarterback carry them to the playoffs before he got hurt. So yeah, how I feel like qualifies. I mean, you want to talk about another game and another play that will live in infamy. I mean, the Philly special in this game is, you know, going to be remembered for a very long time. So,
I still think it's funny at the when Tom Brady tried the Patriots tried to do like their own version of Philly special and Brady just dropped the ball. It was like a fourth down thing.
yeah, yeah,
that
they
was
tried their best.
that was
Womp
fun too.
womp.
Yeah, well they got revenge. They got their revenge next year with their Super Bowl win, the final one for the Patriots against the Rams. This would be would you consider this a
This game was just depressing.
but wait, so probably put this on a coin flip because
Yeah.
it wasn't an upset because both teams I feel was pretty even. And it wasn't like how because Tom Brady and the Patriots. So
Yeah.
yeah, this is very much this was either team could win this game. This was a one score game until like the last like midway in the fourth quarter. It was a one score game.
Yeah.
So
Agree.
yeah, that was I think honestly same thing could be said for the next one on the list, which is the beginning of the Mahomes eras with beating San Francisco for the first time, 25 to 20 to 23. So like that, but this could also be a juggernaut too, because this
Well, the
was
2020 game was they beat San Francisco 31 to 20.
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, the other game I'm thinking was the
Yeah,
close one.
you're thinking of the other one from 2024.
But again, this was very much a well, I'm thinking about this game too. The San Francisco had a two-score lead in the fourth quarter. And the Colts, the Chiefs came all the way back. Yeah, you wish so
I wish.
and the Chiefs came all the way back. So again, I guess it would be either coin flip or juggernaut. as a team, they're definitely a juggernaut. As a game, it was definitely a coin flip, and I
I
think that's
mean, can you
distinction.
say juggernaut if it's only their first Super Bowl? I feel like juggernaut qualifies if you've won more than one. So if that's the case, I feel like it has to be the other option.
Coin flip. Okay.
Yeah,
I guess my thing is just
because
thinking,
both teams were pretty equally matched. I mean, the
yeah,
Niners were 13-3 that year, and the Chiefs were 12-4. So it's not like one team only went in with 8 wins.
no, that's fair. I guess my thing is that this was Tyreek Hill at his prime. This is Kelsey in his prime. This is probably the best offense the Chiefs have had. But yeah, I'll give you that. It was very much a coin flip game. Both teams was evenly matched. It just came down to Mahomes made an extra one or two extra plays and Garoppolo couldn't. So yeah,
Right.
it's a coin flip. And we go from that to a non-coin flip to just a decimation with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers steamrolling the Chiefs. And this has to be a juggernaut just because I remember that team had an embarrassment of riches. It was ridiculous how much talent was on that team. That receiving core had Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Rob Gronkowski. They had two Hall of Fame receivers, and a Hall of Fame tight end on their team.
Yeah, this one goes under juggernaut for sure. I mean, this wasn't even close. I mean, and it's not like, the Chiefs were a slump that year. I mean, the Chiefs were 14-2, the Bucks were 11-5, but man, once Tom Brady hit the playoffs, everyone was cooked.
Oh yeah, and just I'm
And
happy.
Mahomes played terribly in that game. He had 2 picks, no passing touchdowns,
I'm not.
no rushing touchdowns. So,
I'll say this: like this was a game, this famous game where he has like a sideways 40-yard pass. I won't say he played terribly. I think he just didn't have the protection, and I remember the Chiefs receivers dropping a lot of passes that game. That's something.
yeah, that's true. That's a fair point, but I mean, even still, Mahomes only took 3 sacks that game. It's not like he got sacked 7 times.
He only took 3 sacks, but I feel like he probably ran like a marathon in terms of running around the pocket,
Probably.
scrambling, all that
Yeah.
stuff.
This
And
game, I mean, the Bucks, they once you got Tom Brady in the playoffs and they had everyone healthy, I mean, it was going to take a miracle to beat that team, especially like what you said with the Hall of Famers on offense.
totally. And now I guess this is another situation where this team only won one, but I wouldn't call it a miracle run. We got the Los Angeles Rams being the Bengals in the Super Bowl. This is another team that's surrounded by just unbelievable talent on both sides of the ball. You have an all-time coach in McVay. I guess, this would be considered like a coin flip game,
I feel like this is coin flip because the Bengals only lost by 3 points.
and the Bengals only lost because honestly, because Aaron Donald made the play of the game in the fourth and for the last play. Because you
And I
watch
mean, it's impressive they even got this far to begin with because they were only 10-7. So,
I'll say this in terms of that game, in terms of how much this was a coin flip. Not only the fact that Stafford did like a no look pass to Cooper Kupp and it would accept a game winning touchdown. The fact is, Joe Burrow had, I believe, Jamar Chase open in the end zone, or at least in a single coverage 1-on-1 in the end zone on the final Hail Mary. If it wasn't for Aaron Donald basically beating Aaron Donald and getting and hitting Mahomes so he couldn't get the ball off, it could have been like a situation similar to going back in time a bit when the Cardinals and Steelers played the Super Bowl and Lamar Woodley strip sack Kurt Warner on the last play. Because if Warner got the ball off, Fitzgerald was 1-on-1 in the end zone. That was when Fitzgerald was going on his monster run in the postseason, and he's going to outjump anyone on that Steelers team. So this was very much
yeah,
a
that's
great
true.
a great defensive player making a great defensive play that no one pays attention to because
And I'll
defense.
tell you what, man. I mean, Aaron Donald's stat line from that game: 4 total tackles, 3 solo, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss,
I'm mad he didn't win
three
MVP.
quarterback hits.
I'm mad he.
So I feel like you really can't have a much more dominant Super Bowl than having 2 sacks, uh, and tackles for loss and solos. I mean, pretty impressive.
So and the coin flip for the Rams, Aaron Donald, no Aaron Donald goat. Just
Yeah, yeah, seriously.
I still mad I think he should win the Super MVP. I would love to see him
He
win.
will be a first ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt.
They was talk about him coming out of retirement, and people were just like, and I was like, he can't do it. Well, maybe.
Well, bro is still in football shape. I mean, he posts videos and stuff on his Instagram. He looks like he just got off the practice field, even still.
He
He's
look.
like benching free dumbbells like 165 on each arm or something. Pretty insane.
I can't imagine a man I would want to. Just in terms of who would you rather make more angry, like Aaron Donald or like Shaq in 2000, or like in
I don't know.
baseball.
I feel like both of them would beat me to a pulp, so I would just prefer to not make either angry, I think.
I'm pretty sure both would literally rip me in half like a piece of paper.
Well,
Like
if they're ripping you in half, I'm like
just that's
disappearing into thin air.
just where's he just does not believe in Adam.
You're like, what happened to Chelsea? Oh, she made Aaron Donald mad.
Who's
Oh,
Ch
rip.
who's Chelsea? Like just
You're
disappeared off
like,
the.
who is that?
Oh man, now going from one dominant player to the next, we got Patrick Mahomes in his Super Bowl comeback. I guess comeback in terms of comeback from loss, and the part one against the Eagles. This was I don't want to put them all the Mahomes Super Bowls in coin flip, but this was definitely a coin flip game. This was
I mean,
def
I feel like this is what qualifies them as the start of being a juggernaut because they won their second Super Bowl
yeah.
within what,
2
4 years?
yeah, 2 well
Because
actually 3
they
years.
won in 2020 and then they lost in 21, didn't make it in 22, and then made it back in
Yeah.
23. So not including the next year where they won. It was their second Super Bowl appearance or their third Super Bowl appearance in 4 years and their second win in 4 years. So I feel like this is when it like starts to actually qualify them as a juggernaut.
And I think this is also qualifies when the defense, I feel like, is becoming just as good as the offense. When the
Yeah.
defense was just as with Spagnola, with Chris Jones, with Trent McDuffie in the secondary. This was, and it's funny because we say
Nick Bolton too.
it's funny.
L'Jarius Sneed when he was really good.
Oh, I forgot about Snead too. See, this is when they were like,
Frank Clark when he was so relevant.
which is funny because this was still like a very much an offensive game. The offense is dominating this game, but yeah, this was a great. I think this is right there. Would you say this was the best overall team, or we go with their first Super Bowl run?
Um, I feel like the talent was better on first team, but they just played better in the second game with less talent. And I feel like that's more impressive because their starting receivers were, I mean, they still had Travis Kelce, who was still,
Yeah.
in his prime at that time. But outside of that, they had Juju Smith-Schuster, Justin Watson, and Kadarius Toney,
Oh
along with
well.
Sky Moore and Marquez Valdez-Scantling. So I would argue the talent was worse. They just performed better compared to their first Super Bowl where the talent was better, but they just performed worse.
It's like, it's like Tyreek Hill just like, I'm better than all of you combined. You can combine your
Yeah,
ends.
Patrick Mahomes was like, okay, Travis Kelce, please be open every play because I can't trust anyone else.
And speaking of Kelsey, we get the Taylor Swift Bowl with, yep, the return to San Francisco and the San Francisco losing once again to the mighty Chiefs and the Swift Army, the Swifties. Um, Not sure where we would put this though, honestly, because this wasn't a good. I was saying this wasn't the best team. This wasn't really that special of a team. At
Yeah,
least, in,
but it was still once they started to qualify as a juggernaut. So I feel like you could arguably, I mean, I guess it depends on your definition of juggernaut
I,
because you
I,
could put it in there if it's based on the frequency of winning, but if it's based off of how good the team was, then there's room for debate.
I guess my thought is just I remember this year was a lot of close games, and the fact that it went to overtime. I'm looking at more like the game itself, as it's probably like a combination of the game itself and the team, and that's why I'm having problems. Because you are right. This is the Chiefs dynasty like in full swing, but this was at the same time a overtime game that
Yeah,
could.
that's
So
true.
it's
I mean, I feel like if that's the case, then it has to be coin flip because it was a 3-point victory in overtime.
yeah. And then we get to next the real juggernaut, which is the Eagles come back on them. The Eagles come back for revenge for blood.
That was
This
amazing.
is this now. I'll say this: could this juggernaut be a goat? what do you think the Eagles team last year, not last year, well, I guess technically last season, 2 seasons ago, would this be considered a GOAT with that entire roster? You get AJ Brown, Saquon, the MVP. He was the best player in the league. You get that
Yeah.
defense, the offense and defensive line being dominant. The best receiving core, arguably, of 2024. So is this a GOAT team or is this just a very good juggernaut team?
Personally, I think it's probably more of a juggernaut than a goat. I mean, this was also Saquon Barkley's excellent year in which he got snubbed of MVP, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Definitely deserved it. But I mean, it's not like Saquon Barkley had the best game. I mean, he had 25 carries for 57 yards and 2.3 yards per carry. So, I mean, it was not him who won them this game.
No, no, it wasn't.
And honestly, if you look at their skill players and how they performed, I mean, they didn't like absolutely decimate the Chiefs. They just had a very well-rounded performance, in my opinion. Um, I would probably put this in juggernaut rather than goat. I mean, personally, I don't think that the team was really good, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's going to be one of those teams people look back on and they're like, oh yeah, the greatest of all time. You know what I mean?
I guess yeah, I guess that's the problem. That thing with a GOAT team, we can look back and see the Legion Boom and see how special they were. With the Eagles, we're still kind of in the midst of it. And after this last season where they struggled a lot, I'm just thinking about in that in terms of that Super Bowl. I don't think Mahomes had like 10 yards, passing yards, by the end of the first half, just because he was under
Yeah, that
pressure.
was crazy.
Like Cooper DeJean had the pick six. I just remember more than anything, I remember that defense just dominating the game. Like as you're right, I think on the Chiefs side of the ball, on Chiefs defensively, they did a good job of holding Saquon down. They did a good job of not letting anyone on offense really explode. It's just that Philly's defense was just so good that they were always in good field position. And now
Yeah.
the so I think the big question now is this Pascal team. Was this an all-time team, or is this about the same level as the Eagles 2 years ago? As in, just this is a great juggernaut.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the Eagles fall in juggernaut, personally.
I would say
Um,
Seattle, Seattle.
sorry, I misheard you. Seattle, same thing, juggernaut. Patriots never stood a chance in this game, in my opinion, and a lot of people held that opinion. I won't say that it's a GOAT team because I don't think that it was. I just think they had a lot of talent and their talent performed, generally speaking. And it really wasn't close. I mean, the score makes it look closer than it was. One of those touchdowns was a garbage time touchdown. I mean,
Yeah.
the Patriots realistically scored less than 10 points over the course of this game when it mattered. This team was just really good. And the crazy thing about the Seahawks is that they didn't have Charbonnet. Charbonnet was out. The crazy thing about it is that Jackson Smith and Jigba suffered an injury during the game. Otherwise, he probably would have had a much more dominant performance. Um, but yeah, I don't think it's like one of those teams all time where people are going to be like, "Wow, remember that team?" I think honestly, it's kind of disrespectful to the Seahawks. I feel like this is one of those teams where people are going to remember how bad the Patriots were more so than how good the
Dang.
Seahawks were, which is
That,
kind of disrespectful.
yeah.
But people will remember Sam Darnold. You know, the arc of Sam Darnold, being so bad and then going and winning a Super Bowl, that will be remembered forever. But I would say juggernaut. Like I said, I really did not think the Patriots stood a chance in this game. And I stood by that. I mean, for like 3 weeks, I was like, they're not winning this game. It's not
No.
even going to be close. And it really wasn't. So,
Do you think a Bo Nix led Denver team would have a better shot?
for sure.
Oh, wow. No, I think so too. I think at least with Sean Payton, I would trust him to scheme up something. But I'm surprised that I figured we would have more goals, but I guess a lot is which actually goes
Well,
to
it's GOAT for a reason, in fairness.
yeah.
Not everyone can be a GOAT.
So Seattle, that Seattle Legion, but we just established the best team of the past dozen years. So I think that's accurate. That's fair. But I like the fact that we have the most category is coin flip because there's just been so many great Super Bowls, not the past two, but been so many great Super
Yeah, I was
Bowls.
about to say, not the
and
past two, but outside of that, there have been a lot of good ones, for
even
sure.
and even then, when you look at the juggernaut list, one of those games was definitely a very close game. The first KC San Francisco Super Bowl was a very close game. It's just KC came out at the end, but yeah, after that it became like it was Tom Brady getting his last one, Tampa getting the second one. Then you got the Eagles and Seattle. So, and you got poor Von Miller and Oh yeah, I still gotta superimpose the Tom Brady for the Falcons one and how.
Yeah.
It's just I guess in terms of last question, who would be we have Seattle's the GOAT. Out of this list, who would be the second best team? I guess the number two team in terms of Super Bowl winners.
Oh
Cause,
gosh.
cause in my
Probably that Bucks team with Tom Brady.
I go Philly. I'll go the
Just off the top
second
of
Philly.
my head.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I think there's room for debate. That Philly team was really good, but so was that Bucks team, man. I mean, that team, I know they had suffered some losses during the regular season, but that team was really good, especially in the playoffs. So,
no, yeah, like you can't go wrong with Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, Mike Evans, and yes, Antonio Brown. And but yeah, that
and Chris
Philly
Godwin.
and Chris and Chris Scott and Dominican Sue and the Honey Badger on the defensive side of the ball, and
That was a
also
crazy team.
oh, and Levante Davis who just retired earlier last week, which hang him up for a great
Makes
career.
me feel old, man.
That was go watch his press conference. It was very emotional. It was nice to see him like talk about his fans and stuff.
Oh.
So yeah. So yeah, I guess that's our past 12 years of Super Bowl coverage. And now we get to the fun time of the draft. April's just around the corner, and that means we're almost heading to Pittsburgh for draft night. Or draft nights, I guess, draft weekend.
Yeah, it'll be an exciting time for sure.
And make sure you stay with the Launch Coach Football Crew all the way. Chelsea, tell us where you can find us.
So, thanks for listening, guys. Tune back in next week for a new episode where we kind of start to get into some draft stuff and really start to highlight some people and some players and some positions of need. So, look forward to that next week. In the meantime, make sure that you drop a like on this episode if you listen to it or watch it on YouTube. Follow us on our socials. We are on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube at Launch Codes Football. We are on X/Twitter at Launch Codes FB. And with the upcoming draft, make sure you join our Chat BCC group chat where we will be talking all things draft. In the meantime, I'm Chelsea,
I'm Daniel,
and we will see you next week.
and go Huskies.